why your agency is unprofitable. All right. I've notoriously built a lot of unprofitable agencies. Our very first agency hit 50K a month, and I profited 2,000 a month from that agency. And honestly, I'm not ashamed to admit it because I've learned from my mistakes. I've been in the game for about 6-7 years. So if you're watching this video and you run an agency, my goal for you is by the end of this video, you know exactly what you need to do to make a lot of money from your agency. You guys know this. The agency model is actually supposed to be a very profitable model. But for whatever reason, a lot of the gurus never talk about profit. It just seems like everyone loves Stripe and these revenue marks that don't matter at all. And so the only thing I care about is what's hitting my bank account, right? What is the money that I make post-tax, after I pay out tax, after I pay out expenses, and, I give Uncle Sam his money. What's the money that hits my bank account? That's the number I want to talk about. And that's the number I've been obsessed about doing because, when you get to a point in your game when you've been about 7 years in and you didn't make a lot of profit, you just get just pissed, aggravated, frustrated. Okay. So if you're feeling all those things by the end of this video, you should have a sense of clarity, a sense of confidence and ease to be able to get money that you can make post-tax. All right, and specifically if you run an agency. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into it. And just to give you some context, I grew an agency, actively growing an agency right now. Took it from being unprofitable. All right, we're talking about unprofitable agency that had like 20 team members. Brought it down to a core of like seven team members, and clearing 6 figures in profit a month. Profit, cash collected, not ad spend, after expenses. All right, just to clear that up. So if you're wondering who's this random Asian guy that's wearing a coat, I like to work in the cold, and that's why. All right, so 2 minutes in, and we still haven't got to the thing. So number one advice. If you can, do everything yourself in the very beginning. Do everything yourself. Like, I know it might sound stupid, but like, dude, you don't have money in your bank account yet. So don't hire people, right? Unless you have a clear way to hold that person accountable and to make your money back, then yes, for sure, like start to rise up. But I see so many times people delegate so many things and then they look back and they have a team of like 10 people. So number one rule is that if you're below 50K a month and you have more than 3 team members, right? And if you have a partner as well, guys, like you have to understand it's 2 times harder to make profit, all right? If you have a great partner, you're gonna make a lot of money in the future, but understand you're splitting it in half. So if you have a partner, if it's you and your partner, honestly, don't even hire anybody if you're below 50K a month. But if you are solo, or even if you have a partner, make sure you don't have more than 3, right? There's a thing where in business, the more people that you hire, the more complicated things become, right? You're having to manage people, it's brain space. The way that I view it is that, you can get to 100K a month, 2-3 people, all right, max. Just keep it under 5 for sure. And just run everything lean. And if you have to work more hours, guys, like I'd rather you work more hours and make good money. Like, there comes a point where you have to understand that you're working, right? And even if you're about your time freedom, but your bank account's not going up. So maybe, step aside, put your ego aside and say, hey, I'm going to have a glorified job for a little bit, but I'm going to profit 50K a month and do the work. Be the media buyer. Talk to the clients because you're going to have the best retention. You're going to be the best CSM, an account manager. Take the sales calls. Like, do the ads and clear. Guys, I don't think you understand this. You can run an agency right now and clear 50K a month profit by yourself. Like, that's a very good paying job. Okay, I hope you understand that. Profit. Like, you 50K a month profit. Do that. I don't think you understand, unless you do this, how life-changing 20,000 a month in profit is. Bro, like, I'm 26. Even me just making like 30K a month profit is life-changing. And to be quite honest, I didn't really do that until this year. But like when I started actually seeing like 30 G's, 25 G's like coming into my bank account every month after expenses, my personal payout, which you can do if you just run an agency yourself, you're good. Like, talk to me when you make that money, all right? So this is for a lot of the agency owners out there that have been running an agency for a while, maybe 5-6 years, maybe a little bit less, maybe 1-2 years, and you're at $50K a month and you're taking home $5K. You especially, please listen to me. You need to let go of the fat. Number one, let go of the fat, which is all the team members that are just doing a lot of mindless things. Keep things lean and take home 20 to 25 G's a month. That's the very first step. Do that. And what happens, I'll tell you what happens. When you get to that point where you are clearing 20 to 25K a month profit, now you start to get in a better position financially. And you'll start to realize, wow, I like this, right? That was the very first realization I made, is when after running an unprofitable agency for so long and consulting, like I've worked with, you guys know this, like I worked with 50 to 100 agency owners and they're all unprofitable, like just like disgustingly unprofitable. I'm like, guys, like you're working like 60 hours a week and you're profiting like 10,000 a month. Like a beginner right now can come in and just be smart and be mindful, understand that the only thing that matters is profit after tax. And they can make more money than your team that's a team of 10 or a team of 15 that's doing 100K a month revenue, but the owner is taking away 10K a month profit. So start with the end in mind. I think that's so important. We forgot the basics. Start at the very end. That's the goal. Make 20 to 25K a month profit. Do not hire anybody until you do that. And then when you start having 20 to 25 G's a month come into your bank account after expenses, then think about step number 2. Okay? But do that first. That's the very first step. How to start an SMMA, do that. Okay? Now, the second thing is the constant obsession in profit. Right? When I partnered with Zach and we came into the agency, we literally 6x the profit in like 2 months. And we took a team of 20 to 6 people. And we get better client results. So how does that happen? Well, one, again, starting with the end in mind, I knew that any business I grow is going to be very profitable. Like I could care less about revenue, right? I'm just all about profit. So I start with the end in mind. That's the end. And then the second thing is once you know that, then you work backwards of like what's going to get you there, right? And you have to constantly be focused on what's the fat, what can I trim, and also, obviously you're looking at how you can make more money. But for me, like that wasn't, for most people, that's not the problem actually. Like you need to make more money, but you need to keep expenses low, right? And right now, if you're already running a successful agency, I promise you can probably just cut 20K in expenses or just cut half of your expenses and just keep it lean. So once you're there, once you're lean and mean and a lean, mean machine, then, and you have this constant obsession of profit and just looking at profit, just constantly look at profit. Then from there, you have to be very strategic of like what to do next. And in the agency game, the thing that's going to affect your profit the most is churn, right? It's churn. It's not sales, it's churn. So then you just have to look at how do I maintain and make sure that none of my clients leave, right? And just get obsessed with that. And while you do that, keep expenses low, keep risk low. Do not start spending 20K a month in profit or 20K a month on ads if you're not clear on what you're going to do and how you're going to get that return, right? Keep expenses low, and then just look at how you can keep the clients that you have, and you'll have a baseline of like, I can expect 30K a month in profit, right? Then from there, look at acquisition, right? And scaling that, right? And making sure that acquisition, your ads are profitable. But quite honestly, the main thing is just be obsessed with profit. Stop going after vanity numbers. And if you do that, and you do that every single day, and that's your focus, I promise you, you'll look back and be like, wow, that was crazy. So lesson here, get rid of a lot of people that you don't need in the company, right? And if you're below 50K a month, or even if you're below 100K a month and you have more than 5 team members, have an honest look at yourself. Get rid of all the expenses and understand that if you're running a 30K a month agency right now or a 10K a month agency, you should be taking like 95% of that. Like seriously, take 95% of that. You're doing something wrong if you're not. I promise you, you're doing something wrong if you're not. And if you have to have a glorified job for a little bit, do that. I'm just sharing my lessons here, and I hope you feel the heartache because I was broke for a while, and I don't want you to be broke. And looking back, agency model is a beautiful, an amazing business model. I love it. I love it now, right? Because I decided to stay in the game, and I'm playing it every single day, and I see the reward that I get. And I think it came from failing, and understanding that I was playing the wrong game, and then prioritizing profit, and then looking at the levers that I can pull that will have the biggest difference in terms of profit. That's it.